Welcome back to the channel. Today is day 5 of Scam Week, and if you're just joining us, Scam Week is where we find vehicles that are currently up for auction that have been doctored up to make them look not so bad so that some unsuspecting buyer is going to overpay for them. And we're making these videos so that you guys don't become those unsuspecting buyers. So as promised, I have the auction results for all the cars we've looked at this week, and we have one more car that I found that happened to be right before one of our other ones. So we're going to take a look at that one, which may or may not be considered doctored up. I personally don't have a problem with this one, although it has spent a lot of time in the auction, so you have to wonder if there's something we can't see in the pictures. So before we get into our auction results, let's take a look at our vehicle for today, which is none other than a GMC. So our 2015 GMC Sierra 1500 SLT is a double cab. It has a clear Florida rebuilt title. So they did actually pass it through inspections and get it branded as rebuilt. That was nice of them. It's got 180,955 miles on it. And if that isn't enough to make you run away from it, I don't know what is. Good luck with your lifters on your high mileage LS. It's got the 5.3 in it. There's no seller because it's a third-party auction car. So let's take a look at some bigger pictures. They were nice enough to leave the snow on it for us, so we can't really see anything. But we'll see what we can see. Looks like we got a little damage here on the bumper. Could be just where the plastic wore through the paint on the metal bumper. So we got a little damage on our back bumper here, a dent in the tailgate. Don't see much here. Can't see anything there. There's our dent down there. Our mileage. There's our VIN. Now we got a crack in the grill. Everything else looks okay under here. We got a key and a fob. I don't see anything else. Of course, with all the snow on it, can't see much. All right, let's see if our 360 is any better. Aftermarket dual exhaust on it. That's from Florida. You're required to change the exhaust. Don't see much more here. Just that crack in the grill. We don't get to see the inside. Okay, well, based on that, what do you think it looked like? So this is what you never want to see. 12 history sales. It's been passed around a lot. So it started out at IAA back in the 21st of April on 23. So it's going on almost a year. They offered it, probably sold on a I Buy Fast. So that's why they don't have a price on here. Then it ended up at Copart 3 months later. They ran it a couple times. It didn't sell. Finally, they cut their losses and sold it. They got $6,800 here, and they paid, well, probably more than that if they bought it in I Buy Fast. So, and the mileage hadn't changed, so they didn't even get to drive it around. Then somebody else finally sold it here on an I Buy Fast. Don't know what that went for. And then it was back at IAA. And so far it's at $4,000, and they've run it for 4 weeks consecutive.
So they probably have a little over 9 in it. So we could click here and see these pictures, but this site has much bigger pictures. So, well, we know how our damage got in the grill and our front bumper. Looks like this might have been vandalized. The window was busted out of it. Didn't mark the dent in the bumper back here. That might have been new. They might have put that in themselves. So this is the insurance company just marks down all the damage so that they can write the estimate. And apparently they totaled it out. Some damage on the roof. There's our VIN. So it looks like all they really did to it was put a windshield in it and clean up some writing. That's about it. Wax and grease removal will take that right off. So they just sent it back through the auction. Not sure why so many times, but here it is. I don't know who's looking for a high mileage LS, but they're hoping somebody is.
So let me know what you guys think. Did they do anything wrong on this one? I don't think so. They put a windshield in it and you could really drive it with all the minor body damage it has all over it. Of course, I don't know if I would have paid what they paid for it, but it is what it is. So now we're gonna have our auction results, and they're not gonna be in the same order that I posted the videos because the auction just throws them up. I had the videos done before they were in the auction, so they ended up in a different order. So the first one we have is our Honda Odyssey, and if you didn't see it, the link is up there, should be, to take you right to it if you want to see what it looked like and what we found. So let's see what it sold for, or didn't sell for.
So if you've never seen the auction, this is what it is. It sounds like a 1980s video game. There's no guy rambling on with gibberish that you can't understand. It's all electronic. So if you like this and you want to follow auctions, you can. IAA and Copart both allow you to watch auctions with just having a membership and not actually paying for a membership. It's just a guest membership. And that's what I did. I made one of those just so I could watch one auction at a time. You don't get all the benefits of watching multiple auctions when you're not a buyer. But you can watch these cars go through, and I don't have to worry about accidentally clicking this button and buying this thing. So, and it keeps it separate from my regular vehicles. So now we're just going to watch these guys fight over this car. Looks like we got 3 bidders. And this would be lit up green if we were on our buying account, and I could click it and it would jump the bid up to the next, whatever that is. Or if we wanted to just scare the guys off, we could jump it up to, $7,000 and really scare them off. But right now, these two in New Jersey and Ohio are just fighting back and forth. And, there's Pennsylvania. And we're just going to see who runs out of money first and gives up. So the bidding closed at $55.75 on an if bid. And an if bid means it had a reserve on it and they didn't meet it.
This seller and a lot of other sellers offer their vehicles with a reserve. So if we don't meet the reserve, that gives them a few options. They can either take whatever the high bid was, they can hold on to the vehicle and they can relist it, or they can send an offer to the high bidder and see if he wants to come up a little bit and meet in the middle somewhere. Well, I guess that wasn't the case because it's back for auction this week with an iBuyFast or a buy it now price of $10,500. So since it brought so little this week, I'm thinking it's probably going to make it to auction. Nobody's going to buy it in between. I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe somebody didn't watch my video and they're going to overpay for the Honda. So let's look at our next vehicle, which happens to be our Lexus RX 350. Link's up there if you want to watch that video.
So Jensen Beach, Florida was the high pre-bidder, so that's where the bidding opens up at. And if nobody bids on it, he's going to win it for that amount. Unfortunately for him, somebody jumped in to bid him up. And the 2 X's mean that it's from outside the United States. So buyers from outside the United States will buy these things and put them back on the road. Some places don't have any inspections and they don't care about titles. So if it drives, you can drive it. And that's exactly what they'll do with this thing, where these vehicles are not readily available. So we're just going to let these two fight. But wait a minute. Capitol Heights, Maryland jumped in. And guess where this vehicle seller is from? That's right, Capitol Heights, Maryland. They're bidding on their own vehicle. If they win it, I wonder if they're going to sell it to themselves or if they're going to put it back in the auction for next week.
Sale pending.
Well, if you guessed back in the auction again, you'd be correct. And this time it has an iBuyFast of 21.5. So we'll see if they get it. If not, it'll be up for auction next week. So let's move on to our next car, which happens to be our Acura RDX. Link's up there if you missed that video.
So there's our foreign bidder from last time. I changed the screen around so that hopefully you can see a little bit better. And we're just going to let these guys fight. Now, I understand foreign countries wanting to buy this thing because they can pretty much drive it as it is as long as it drives, and people will be happy with it. But that Laurel, Maryland should know better, along with Middle River, Maryland. But price of a vehicle is determined by which uneducated buyer runs out of money first. So we'll see who runs out of money first. We got Baltimore in there. $10,300. So Laurel and our foreign Acura. Acura's bidding on the Acura. Since 10,550. All it takes is two bidders. I stopped being a bidder at this at about $6,000 because that's all it's worth in parts. That little bar under the vehicle description that counts down, every time it gets a bid, it starts off at the left as green, then turns yellow and goes to red. When it gets to the end, sometimes if there's a lot of bidding, it'll say time extended, and it'll restart the counter back at the left and count down one more time. And you get a lot of people that try to click at the last second, hoping nobody else is paying attention, trying to snipe it from you. That's me. I'm that guy. So it looks like we might have run out of money, finally. And somebody's taking it home.
Sale
Overseas.
Okay, place your bets. Do you think the seller took the offer for our Acura? If you guessed yes, you are correct. I think they would have been crazy not to take what they got for it. They actually got quite a bit, and I guarantee whoever bid on it isn't expecting what they're going to get. Maybe doing that little bit of effort to put the airbags back in it paid off. I don't know, but they definitely got more than they should have for that thing. So let's take a look at our next vehicle, which is our GMC truck.
It's looking like nobody else is interested in this, so the pre-bidder might win this for $4,025.
Sale pending.
So what's your money on? Chiefs or 49ers? Oh wait, that was last week. Did they sell it or did they not sell it? If you guessed sell it, you might be right. I don't know. I can't tell you on this one because that bid was so low compared to what they have in it that I'm not sure they would have let it go. And it's not back in the auction this week, so they may have decided to sell it somewhere else, or since it's been in the auction so many times, they may have just cut their losses and let it go. So I don't give you any closure on that one. Sorry. So we'll have to move on to our next vehicle, which is this one right here. There's also a link up there. And I've been told that I'm not pretentious enough to say it correctly, so I won't because I've been threatened with people unsubscribing. So I won't say Jaguar, Jaguar, Jaguar.
So the the F-Pace is up on the block, so we're going to see what it goes for. It's not looking very promising. We haven't even hit $1,000 yet. Pre-bids were pretty low on this one. and they were hoping for 22 grand on this guy. Which is actually kind of funny because they did give an actual cash value of $23,400. So that's the price if it was running, driving, clean title, ready to sell. This is not that. In order to get this to that, you're going to have to spend a few $1,000s just in parts, not to mention how much labor you're going to have to do to make this thing right after they had their hands on it. So, yeah, they're really dreaming on that price, but I guess it's good to dream. Now, if this were a car that was listed from an insurance company, that actual cash value would have been whatever they paid out on the claim. That's where they get it from. But when it's a third party, the third party just makes up a number, and generally that number is slightly higher than whatever their reserve on the car is, if they have a reserve. That's not guaranteed, but it does work out like that quite a bit. We're not even close to their 22 grand, so it looks like they're going to be disappointed, and I'm going to be happy. How bad is this vehicle, you ask? Well, it's so bad, they won't even bid up their own car. They're afraid they might get stuck with it. If the price goes low enough, I might even buy it. I can crash test their work.
Sale
$61.75.
What's your guess? Did they accept the offer on the overpriced problematic feline? And that's before it was doctored up. If you answered no, you'd be correct. It's back in the auction this week and they're holding firm at their buy it now price of $22,000. Good luck with that, because if that thing was fixed correctly and back in the auction, that's about all it's worth. And somebody that's gonna have to do some work definitely isn't gonna pay that. So hopefully they're stuck with that one and they learned their lesson. Now I did do a little research on this, and let me show you what I found.
So I was doing a little checking and noticed that this thing's been sold a lot of times. So not only do we have a before and after, we have a during. So the first time it was in the auction, we saw the pictures from that. Now the second time it was in the auction, it sold right here, which I don't actually think it sold. You're allowed to run it 3 times before you have to relist it. And it ended up back in the same place. But this is what it looked like. They put 2 doors on it and left the quarter alone and just closed the door, and I guess hoping you're going to miss that big dent there. Our airbag is still deployed, our seatbelt's still dangling. There's a better shot of that quarter. They hadn't put any additional miles on it at the time. They really hadn't done all that much. And it's never actually had a different owner other than the original owner that wrecked it. So that means it's just been bouncing around from dealer to dealer, which probably just the one dealer. And they haven't been able to get rid of it. They bought a curse. Good for them.
So that brings us to the end of Scam Week. I hope you guys learned what to watch out for in the auctions. And I did say it once before, and I need to say it again. What they're doing is technically not illegal, highly unethical, but still not illegal. So the only way to really protect yourself is to educate yourself. And that's why I'm making these videos, to help educate you guys. If you want to do your part, go ahead and share this video, because the more people that we can educate, the less chance these people have of selling cars to unsuspecting buyers. And if I'm really lucky and we educate enough people, maybe I'll get that cease and desist letter and I can hang it right on the wall as I showcase their next doctored up car. That would be awesome. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.